What's good, Lifestyle Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Today we're gonna be looking at a video from Anton. Now, this particular video is gonna be talking about trans women, and this black woman. If you want to be honest here, black women like this are the reason why these trans women think they're real women. As you can see by the title of the video, trans women or trans people are women. Black woman teaches her audience not to be afraid of men in dresses. Now, when you look at this objectively, her objective is to make it seem like everything is all perfect in the world when it comes to that particular subject. And what I mean by that is this: that there are no weirdos, no creeps that will intentionally put on a dress and do harm to women. Now, she's a dumbass. I'm going to just say that out loud. But the way that this whole entire conversation is being portrayed is almost like, get happy, get all this. Joe, don't be afraid of them. Then you find out something happens to women that goes into bathrooms with these particular people, and they don't ever want to have that conversation. But look at this.
Cisgendered heterosexual woman, and I'm trying to figure out when in the hell did transphobia become so normalized. It is deeply concerning. And before you ask, Jackie, if it doesn't apply, why do you care? Newsflash, bud, I don't have to be directly impacted by someone else's marginalization in order to care about that. Isn't that shocking? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's called having a pulse. Let's just talk about the first thing. The word cisgendered is not an insult. Trans women are by no means in any way a threat to my womanhood. I don't want.
She said her womanhood. Meanwhile, there's women that are being victimized by these people. So basically, selfishness. You give a motherfucker a platform to talk, they gonna expose themselves left and right.
This video to feel like a confrontation for other cisgendered women, because sometimes I think it's just misdirected anger, but the stuff that I see lately has gotten a little too normalized. Trans women are women whether you like it or not.
I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. Let me tell you what I don't understand. I don't understand why y'all keep fighting for women who don't even want to fight for themselves. They're fighting against you and you're fighting for them. You're fighting for them, for example, when it comes to trans people in women's sports. And you're fighting against them when it comes to trans people in basketball and the Olympics and UFC and whatever, right? And because, for example, this particular person doesn't necessarily believe that, I'm assuming, because y'all sent me this video to react to, and so I always like to give credit to the content creators. And I'm going to be objective. I'm going to try to be a little bit more objective coming into 2025 instead of only giving it from my lens or my purview. I'm going to speak to the struggles that you guys have been enduring through in trying to advocate for what you believe is what's right. And so it doesn't matter what you were biologically born. The only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself. The only thing that matters is, what we used to categorize as crazy or insane or was in an insane asylum, and that it was delusion, right? Insanity, something that didn't make sense because it did not align with what was normal and what we've normalized as a culture. Now we've redefined what culture is, and we believe that you can be whatever it is that you want to be, but that only applies to gender.
I'm gonna say this because I've listened to women that talk about these type of subjects, about how trans women are real women and all this bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime I hear one of these chicks fighting for the trans community or any other stuff, and this isn't even a hate speech or anything like that, But anytime I hear these people fight for these supposed women, when I'm trying to tell them that this is a danger to them because of the history behind what happens, and then also these women, these supposed women, are biological men. When you tell them that, they start going off on you saying that, oh, these are real women. Stop trying to be an asshole. They're real women. If you don't date trans women, you're transphobic. You know what? At this point in time, I've stopped giving a damn, to be honest with you. I've really stopped caring. Because anytime you try to tell one of these people the truth about the subject, about what's going on, about what happens, and try to protect them for themselves, they run further into it, further into hell, further into all the bullshit that goes on. And then when they find out the hard way, then they want you to come back and doggone play Savo. I'm sorry. At this point in time, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I don't anymore. If you don't care to listen the first time, I'm not gonna sit here and try to beat it into your fucking head about why it's wrong. I'm gonna just let you make the fucking mistake and keep it fucking moving. And don't come back to me because I'm gonna say, you know what? I told you so. Oh well, deal with it yourself. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna keep, and many men probably feel like this too, but we're not gonna keep trying to yank you out of your fucking delusion because we care. Yes, we care. We care just enough to damn let you keep on making your fucking mistakes. And when you come to the realization, just know you probably not gonna have any damn backup. You probably not gonna have somebody that really gets. You probably not gonna have somebody that's gonna actually be like, "Oh damn, I'm sorry about that." We just not gonna care. And that's due to y'all's own fault. I don't know. Women like this fucking irk my nerves.
It doesn't apply to anything else. I can believe that I'm a billionaire. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get $1 billion. I can believe that I can fly. It doesn't really matter. I can believe that I'm a rich white man. I can believe that I qualified for a specific position in corporate America. Doesn't really matter. I can believe that I'm the best YouTuber ever. Cool. But the only thing that really matters when it comes to facts that we can actually prove is whether or not you believe that you are a woman or not. So you can believe what you want to believe. I'm not tripping about it no more. Cause y'all the only people that's fighting for this. Y'all are the only people that feel compelled to try to convince other people that it makes sense. So now when you see people that come up to the podium at all of these Senate hearings or you see people advocating for it, one of the things that really, really bothered me, it was so crazy. And I've told this story before several times. So this is not new to some of you OG Anton Daniels watchers or anybody that's tuned into the Millionaire Morning Show. But, I've told this story about how I was in Miami at the airport, my daughter and I, my daughter went into the bathroom and then shortly thereafter, there was a biologically born male that was going into the women's bathroom. I'm assuming that identified as a woman. And they were dressed pretending like they were a woman. And they were moving a little bit more extra than women usually move. But you know how it is. Usually people have to overcompensate in order to prove to you that they're just as good as you in it. So the way that they were operating obviously led me to believe that that was the way that they was living their life. And you can even come to the conclusion that they were trans. However, clearly it was a biological male or somebody that was born as a biological male. And when they went into the bathroom shortly after my 16, at the time, 15-year-old daughter, not happening, bruh. Not happening, bruh. So when you say that you have a pulse, or when we say, hey, listen, because see, I would usually just let you fight your own battles or let women suffer through it and let them get beat up inside of whatever sport or whatever, right? I would usually let them do that. However, when you have a daughter, a 16-year-old daughter, and you witness something like that in real time, it kind of does something to you when you become a little bit more passionate about certain issues because it's not about whether or not I'm threatened. but it's our cultural norm that our children ultimately will subject themselves to. And if you let the craziest people be the loudest ones in the room, then ultimately you then give yourself over to it. And you can't necessarily either, try to convince people that see things differently because they already believe what they believe. So this is not to convince. This is just to fight against the cultural norm that they're trying to normalize.
Their experiences and their womanhood don't devalue yours at all. If your womanhood is threatened by another woman's existence, it's time to evaluate some other things. If you gotta be transphobic to be that girl, then maybe you're just not that girl, okay? Stop it. It's too much. I'm tired. And I'll see these crazy videos on my timeline and all of the thousands of comments. And I would absolutely not want to see another generation of women become radicalized. We used to name and shame people who felt comfortable being openly transphobic. What the hell happened? I am well aware that as a Black woman, I cannot save everyone. And I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody else that's in a marginalized group that you got to save everybody too. What I will say is you will absolutely never see me participating in rhetoric and harmful messaging that makes it harder for trans people. Ever, 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 Tiffany.
Ever, 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 Tiffany. Ever in a million years.
Because the stuff that y'all are saying is not even, the points are not being made. The threats that people think exist at our womanhood are just not coming from trans people. They're just not. And remember, ladies, if they not free, they being trans women, we won't be either. Like we gotta look at history, guys. I'm getting a little spooked. It's getting weird.
And this woman is saying all of this. Meanwhile, this woman is trying her best to look like a white woman. The blonde weave or the blonde lace front. The white woman makeup. Tell me something. What Black woman adds blush? She's trying her best to look like a white woman. Meanwhile, speaking this shit to women that could be very detrimental to women in general. But let her tell it. Oh, I'm not speaking nothing negative or anything wrong. I'm just speaking the truth. Meanwhile, that truth is very fucking dangerous. Very dangerous.
Okay.
Let them fight their own battles. I'm not even tripping. Like, I'm not even looking at this and saying, you know what? This is crazy or anything like that. It's no longer crazy to me no more. Because again, why would you fight against something that they're not fighting for themselves? As a matter of fact, they will scrap with you about it. They care more about people that were not biologically born as them than they care about people that were born as them and the rights that come along with it. Ain't that crazy? We live in a time now, or we've evolved or devolved into a time where it's more popular to go against the norm of what you know to be true, biologically, scientifically, than it is to actually, support something that don't make sense. I mean, I don't understand why guys keep fighting for it. I'm not going to fight for it. I think that y'all shouldn't fight for it. I think that y'all should just go ahead and let things be whatever it is going to be and let them rock out. Let them get to it. Let them rock out. So I'm curious as to what y'all think. Do you think that we should just completely take our hands off of fighting for the rights of women, biological women, so that they can have whatever it is that's meaningful to them or is meant for them? Or do you think that men that are born and believe that they were born in the wrong body, or maybe not born into the wrong body, but they could be whatever it is that they want to be depending on how they feel at that time? Do you think that they should be able to run the asylum? Let me know inside of the chat. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm out. Peace.
First, I don't.
All right, so that's the end of that video. Let them crash out. That's all I'm saying. Let them crash out. Let them handle their own battles. Let them deal with the shit that they got to deal with. Because honestly, those type of chicks, those are the ones that's gonna make your life live in hell when you try to help them out of a situation. But anyways, Like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, spotify.com. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.